Have you ever questioned the nature of your reality and sought peace within your mind? Today we journey through the wisdom of Vasistha's sermon. In the grand tapestry of life, Vasistha's teachings implore us to lessen our reliance on the material world. He presents a profound concept, the vanity of human wishes. Our desires and ambitions, our fervor to uphold religious vows for the promise of future reward, are often in vain. This is not an indictment of our actions, but a call to reflect on their true purpose and value. Imagine your ego as the vapor of your breath on a cold day, fleeting and ephemeral. It appears tangible, sticking on the surface of a glass pane, but in reality it's transient, vanishing in an instant. This metaphor beautifully encapsulates the transient nature of egoism. It exists, yes, but it's as fleeting as the morning mist, and recognizing this is a step towards true enlightenment. Now imagine an individual free from the veil of delusion, whose desires are numbed, and whose soul is filled with the ambrosia of heavenly delight. This individual is said to be happy in their very essence. Vasistha tells us that such contentment, such enlightenment, is akin to the full moon, illuminating the sphere of its circle with the splendor of its intelligence. But how does one attain this enlightenment? How does one navigate the labyrinth of life's illusions? The answer lies in shedding the curtain of ignorance. The intelligent individual who frees themselves from worldliness and doubts, who steps out of ignorance's shadow and into the light of truth, is known as the knowing soul. This soul shines brightly, like the autumnal sky, unobscured by clouds of doubt or fear. In the end, the question of reality boils down to our perception. A curtain of ignorance often shrouds our perception, but enlightenment can illuminate our minds like a full moon. Our journey through Vasistha's sermon will continue, exploring the illusion of desires and the tranquil nature of the soul. Join us as we delve deeper into the wisdom of Vasistha in the next part of this series. A desire, an intense longing for what we do not possess. But what if these desires are based on unreality? Let's delve into the wisdom of Vasistha's Gita, which provides a profound perspective on the nature of desires. According to Vasistha, our longing often chases shadows, ephemeral and elusive, much like the vapor of our breath clinging to the surface of a glass. This vapor, seemingly substantial, vanishes into nothingness when examined closely. Much like our desires, it's a causeless sight, appearing and disappearing in the blink of an eye. Vasistha goes on to illustrate the illusory nature of the world we inhabit. We perceive it as something real, tangible, and substantial. However, he argues that the world is truly the form of Brahma himself, neither actual nor ideal. It doesn't rest on any support. It's a profound concept that may leave us wondering about the nature of reality. What then is the nature of our desires? If the world is an illusion, then our desires, which are bound to this world, are also chasing illusions. Vasistha likens the desire for unrealities to expecting something that is a nullity in nature, such as dreaming of heaven or seeking the son of a barren woman. He further elaborates on the concept of heaven, which is a widely accepted belief in many religious doctrines. Yet, Vasistha negates this belief, equating it to the son of a barren woman, a non-existent entity. It's a thought-provoking assertion that challenges conventional beliefs and encourages introspection. So if the world is an unreality even at present, how can we expect reality in a heaven or hell in the future? Vasistha suggests that the use of these words is as false as the negative expression of a barren woman's son, or a flower of the ethereal arbor. The world as we perceive it might just be an aerial nothing. The belief in a future heaven is as elusive as a barren woman's son. Let's ponder on these words as we navigate the maze of our desires, distinguishing between what is real and what is not. In the chaos of the world, where can we find tranquility, perhaps, within our own souls? The teachings of the sage Vasistha offer a profound perspective on this question. According to him, the tranquil nature of our soul is the source of true peace. This tranquility is not a state to be achieved, rather it's an inherent part of our very essence. It's like a serene lake, always calm and placid, waiting for us to recognize its tranquility amidst the turbulent waves on the surface. In Vasistha's view, our worldly miseries and troubles stem from our misplaced reliance. We put our trust in the impermanent nature of things, and in our transient selves, disregarding the unchanging tranquility of our souls. When we shift this reliance to the tranquil nature of our soul, we liberate ourselves from the concomitant troubles of the world and created beings. How does this work? Imagine a tree in the midst of a storm. Its leaves and branches sway violently in the wind, but its roots remain firm, grounded in the earth. Our soul is like that tree's roots, unswayed by the storms of life. When we anchor ourselves in the soul's tranquility, the winds of worldly troubles can no longer uproot us. Vasistha also speaks of the divine intellect, an aspect of our soul that has the capacity to stretch over the unlimited space of creation in an instant, just like the light of the luminaries of heaven. This divine intellect is not bound by time or space. It's an integral part of the infinite cosmic dance, eternally connected to the vast expanse of creation. Yet, the divine intellect is not just vast and all-encompassing, it is also joyous. It's as joyous as a plant in full bloom, blossoming with the bliss of existence. Its joy is not contingent on external circumstances, but springs from the inner tranquility of the soul. The divine intellect is as joyous as a plant in full bloom and as calm as the breathless air of the sky. What is the nature of living beings? Are we more than just creations of the world? Let's delve into the teachings of sage Vasistha to answer these profound questions. According to Vasistha, the essence of all living beings is rooted in divine intellect. Picture this. The divine intellect is as inconceivable as the void of space, as imperceptible as the calm, breathless air of the sky. Yet it's as joyous as a plant in full bloom. This divine intellect, unseen but ubiquitous, is the very core of our existence. Now you might wonder, if we're all rooted in divine intellect, why do we perceive ourselves as individual beings? Well, Vasistha likens this to the illusion of a plant in bloom. Each flower, each leaf on the plant may seem individual and separate, but they all stem from the same root. They all share the same essence. That's us. That's all living beings. We are all expressions of that singular divine intellect. Vasistha takes this concept further. He argues that this divine intellect is so vast, so boundless, that it stretches across the unlimited space of creation in an instant, much like how the light from the luminaries of heaven reaches us in a moment. We are all interconnected, not just with each other, but with the entire universe. And here's where Vasistha's teachings challenge the conventional wisdom. He posits that men of good intellect and judgment place no faith in the creation of the world. Why? Because they understand that the world as we perceive it is not the ultimate reality. It's merely a manifestation of the divine intellect. The true nature of living beings, then, is not as creations of the world, but as expressions of the divine intellect. So what does this all mean for us? It challenges us to rethink our understanding of life, of creation, of existence itself. It prompts us to question our perceptions, our beliefs, our very understanding of reality. As we journey through life, the lines between creation and annihilation blur, much like the lines between dreaming and sound sleep. Let's gather the pearls of wisdom we've collected from Vasistha's sermon. Vasistha begins by challenging our perception of reality, stating that our worldly reliance and desires are in vain. He likens our ego to a vapor that, upon reflection, proves to be a causeless sight, vanishing in an instant. This metaphor is an invitation to question the solidity of our reality and the substantiality of our desires. He then beckons us towards the tranquil nature of the soul, a state of heavenly delight where the soul is unloosed from the veil of delusion. This tranquility is likened to the full moon, illuminating the sphere of its circle with the splendor of its intelligence. In this state, we are unshrouded from the mist of doubts and skepticism, and are thus enlightened and contented. Next, Vasistha addresses the divine nature of living beings, referring to the enlightened mind as a pure breeze of heaven that blows freely from the region of Brahma. This divine intellect, though as unconceivable as the womb of vacuum and as imperceptible as the calm air of the sky, is joyous like a blooming plant. He further asserts that the world is the form of Brahma himself, neither an actual nor ideal existence, leaving us at a loss to understand what reality truly is. This belief challenges our conventional understanding of the world, pushing us to rely on the tranquil nature of the soul rather than the natures of things. Finally, Vasistha questions the creation and annihilation of the world, comparing it to our lack of knowledge of the dreaming state in our sound sleep, and vice versa. This highlights the illusory nature of our perceived reality, pushing us towards a deeper understanding of our existence. In the vast expanse of the universe, we are but stardust, part of a divine intellect questioning our own reality. So what does it all mean? How can we apply Vasistha's wisdom to our lives? If we delve into the profound teachings of Vasistha, we find ourselves confronted with a challenge to question the very fabric of our perceived reality, to interrogate our deepest desires, and to seek a tranquility that transcends the mundane and materialistic. Vasistha's sermon encourages us not to blindly accept the world as it seems, but to scrutinize it, to explore its depths, to question its truths. He prompts us to recognize that our ego, our desires, and even our religious vows are often rooted in illusion, like the vapor on a glass pane, appearing solid but vanishing in an instant. He inspires us to seek enlightenment, to strip away the veil of delusion that shrouds our minds, and to illuminate our understanding with the splendor of intelligence. Just like the full moon that lights up the night sky, an enlightened mind dispels the darkness of ignorance and doubt. Vasistha's teachings also emphasize the importance of inner tranquility, a state of peaceful contentment that's not dependent on external circumstances but rooted in the very essence of our being. A tranquility that, like the cool, purifying breeze of heaven, refreshes and revitalizes everything it touches. Moreover, Vasistha urges us to question the reality of our desires. He points out that our longing for unrealities, like the dream of heaven or the son of a barren woman, is futile. Instead, we should focus on the true essence of existence, which is Brahma himself, the ultimate reality beyond all illusions. In essence, Vasistha's sermon offers a roadmap for a journey towards peace of mind, a journey that involves questioning, seeking, and ultimately finding. A journey that requires us to relinquish our reliance on the material world, to embrace the tranquility of our inner soul, and to see through the illusions that cloud our understanding. In the end, the journey towards peace of mind begins with a single question, a question about the nature of our reality. Seek and you shall find.